Good morning, dear students. In our previous lecture, we have derived an expression for calculating the distance between various crystal planes. In today's lecture, we will have a detailed description on space lattice and unit cell. If we will go through the internal structure of the crystal, you will see the constituent particles are arranged in a definite regular pattern in 3 dimensions. Now, to show the position of particles relative to one another, we can use the geometrical points which we call as lattice points. So, how we can define the space lattice? It is the regular arrangement of infinite set of lattice points in space such that each point is having an identical surrounding everywhere. In a space lattice, each point will have an identical surrounding everywhere. So space lattice is what? It is a regular arrangement of the lattice points showing how the atoms and ions or molecules which are constituting the given crystal, they are arranged in 3 dimensional space within the crystal. So lattice is basically imaginary points on space with a periodic manner. Now what do we mean by basis? The atoms or molecules or ions which are constituents of a crystal material, they are known as bases. For example, in case of NaCl crystal, a group of one Na, one sodium or one chlorine atom that will form basis of the crystal in case of NaCl. Now how we can generate the crystal structure? By adding these bases to the given lattice of the crystal. Now what are the various types of space lattice on the basis of dimensions? The lattice can be shown in 3 different types on the basis of dimension. For example, if there is only one dimension, in that case we will have a linear lattice as shown by a line here, a sequence of array, a sequence of these points along a line, that is a linear lattice here. Now, if we are showing it in 2 dimension, in that case we will call it as plane lattice. Similarly, if we are showing it in 3 dimension, we will call it as space lattice. So lattice is what? It is an infinite array of points such that each point is having identical surrounding everywhere in the lattice. Now this is showing here the lattice point in 2 dimension and this is shown here the lattice point in 3 dimension. So space lattice is consisting here of regular definite 3-dimensional pattern of lattice points, and this is not the lines which are joining them. What we are saying here, space lattice is just the regular arrangement of these points, lattice points. These lines are not included in the space lattice. These lines are only drawn to represent, they exist to specify the position of these various points. The lines are only drawn here just to specify the position of various points. The space lattice is what? It is only the 3-dimensional arrangement of these lattice points, which we call it as space lattice. So crystal structure is formed by adding the bases to the crystal lattice. First we have determined the position of the various particles. So we drawn various lattice point here. Then we are adding the bases to it. But we will get the given crystal structure. So crystal structure is obtained by attaching atoms, group of atoms or molecules which are known as bases to the lattice points. Now what do we mean by unit cell? Very important for the solid state of the given substance. Now unit cell is what? The unit cell is the smallest portion of the space lattice. For example, we are having this space lattice and this is the smallest portion of the space lattice which is possessing all the elements of symmetry of the lattice. and which when repeated over and over again in 3 dimension, that will produce the complete crystal lattice. So the main important point here is about the unit cell is that it is the smallest portion which is having all the elements of symmetry of the lattice. And on repeating itself in all directions, it is giving the given crystal lattice in 3 dimension. Now unit cells are what? These are the building blocks of the crystal lattice. It will contain all the symmetry elements of the crystal, and the chemical composition of the unit cell will be same as the chemical composition of the given considered compound. The chemical composition of unit cell will be same as the chemical composition of the given compound of which the given crystal is here. Now, how we can characterize a unit cell? It is characterized by 6 parameters. What are these 6 parameters? These are also known as lattice parameters or unit cell parameters A, B, C, alpha, beta, gamma. Where A, B, C are what? These are the cell edges, or you can say unit cell edges as length of the unit cell, and alpha, beta, gamma are the angles between the edges of the unit cell. These all 6 are the unit cell parameters or lattice parameters which characterize a given unit cell. Now, unit cell are broadly divided into 2 categories. First one is the primitive unit cells and second one is the centered unit cells. Now, primitive unit cells are what? When the constituent particles are present only on the corner position of a unit cell, we will call it as a primitive unit cell. What about the centered unit cell? As the name indicating here, centered unit cell. So in case of centered unit cell, what you will see, the constituent particles are present at position other than the corners in addition to those at the corners. Means in this case we will have the particles present in the center of face or center of body of the unit cell in addition to the particles present at the corners of the unit cell. So it will be known as a centered unit cell. If the particles are present at other positions in the cell in addition to the corners, we will call it as a centered unit cell. Now the centered unit cells are of 3 types: body centered unit cells, face centered unit cells, and end centered or side centered unit cells. Now as the name indicating here, first one is the body centered unit cells. In such a unit cell, the constituent particle will be present at the body center of the cell in addition to the particles present at the corner of the unit cell. In case of face-centered unit cell, we will have constituent particle present at the center of each face in addition to the particles present at the corners of the unit cell. So they are present at the center of the face, and in this case particle is present at the center of the body of the unit cell in addition to the particles at the corners. Similarly, in case of end-centered or side-centered unit cell, we will have constituent particles present at the center of any 2 opposite faces in addition to the present at the corners. As we can see in the figure here, this is the primitive unit cell in which all the particles are present at the corners of the unit cell. In case of centered unit cell, we are having 3 types: face-centered, body-centered, and centered. In case of face-centered unit cell, in addition to the particles present at the corners, we are having particles at the center of each face of the unit cell. In case of body-centered unit cell, we are having particles at the corners as well as at the body center of the unit cell. In case of end-centered unit cell, the particles are present at the corners as well as the center of the 2 opposite faces of the given cell. So this is known as the end-centered unit cell. Now, very important feature of a unit cell which we must know, that how many number of lattice point a unit cell is containing. or you can say how many atoms and or molecules are present per unit cell. So how we can find out this? For example, in case of a simple cubic, we are having here all the particles at the 8 corners. Now each particle at the corner, that is shared by 8 unit cells. If you will carefully imagine, each particle at the corner of a cell, that is shared by 8 unit cells. So its contribution towards one unit cell is 1 by 8. Now as there are total 8 atoms at all the corners of the cubic unit cell, we will have 8 atoms into 1 by 8 occupancy of each atom per unit cell. So contribution of each atom per unit cell is 1 by 8 and total number of atoms at corner is 8. So total contribution per unit cell if all the particles are present at corners is equal to 1 atom. Now what about the body centered cubic cell? In this case we will have the particles at the corner. This is the body centered unit cell. The particles at the corners as well as one particle is present at the body center of the unit cell. So the contribution of particles at the corner is 1 by 8 into 8. As total 8 atoms are present at corner and contribution of 1 atom per unit cell is 1 by 8. So we are having total 8 into 1 by 8 contribution from the atoms present at the corners. Now one atom is present at the center of the unit cell. Its contribution is 1 as its occupancy is 1. Its contribution towards this unit cell is 1. So we are having total contribution per unit cell in case of body centered cubic cell 2 atoms. Now what about face centered cubic cell? In this case we are having 8 atoms at the corners. So the contribution for the corner atom is 8 into 1 by 8 as we have already discussed in these two cases. Now in addition to this we are having 6 particles at 6 faces center and each particle at a face is shared by 2 unit cells. Each particle at a face we are watching here in the figure, each particle at the face is shared by 2 unit cells. So what we can say here, its contribution toward 1 unit cell is 1 by 2. So contribution of each atom present at the center of the face is 1 by 2 and total 6 number of atoms are present at the face centers. So total contribution of the atoms which are present at the 6 faces is equal to 6 into 1 by 2. So what we can say here, in case of a face centered cubic cell, total contribution per unit cell will be 8 into 1 by 8 plus 6 into 1 by 2 and that is equal to 4 atoms per unit cell. As we can see here, when all the atoms are present at corner, it is shared between 8 cells, so contribution is 1 by 8. If an atom is present at the face center, its contribution is 1 by 2. If an atom is present at a body center, its contribution is 1 towards a unit cell. And if the atom is present at edge center, in that case, the center edge, each particle will be shared by 4 cells and its contribution will be 1 by 4. Now in all these 4 cases, we can find out the contribution, that is 1 in case of body centered, 2 in case of end centered, base centered, side centered, we are having 2 and in case of face centered, we are having total 4 atoms contribution per unit cell. Now in general, if we want to calculate the total number of lattice points per unit cell, we can use this expression where NC is the number of atoms or number of points present on the corners of the unit cell, and F is the number of points present on the faces of the unit cell, and I is the number of points present in the interior of the unit cell, or you can say inside the body of the unit cell. So by using this general expression, we can find out total number of lattice points per unit cell. Now there are 7 types of primitive unit cells on the basis of shape or external geometry. As you already discussed about the primitive unit cells and centered unit cells. So on the basis of shape and geometry, we can further categorize these primitive unit cells into 7 types. These 7 categories are cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, hexagonal, rhombohedral, monoclinic and triclinic. These are the 7 primitive unit cells in a crystal. So depending upon the angle between the edges or the variation in the edges length, we are having 7 different types of primitive unit cells. Now, what do we mean by crystal systems? Crystal systems are based on the 7 type of primitive unit cells we have discussed here on the basis of external geometry or shape of the unit cell. If the various elements of symmetry are distributed theoretically around a single point in space, 32 different arrangements are possible. If we are arranging various elements of symmetry around a single point in space, we will get 32 different arrangements. And these different arrangements are known as point groups, crystal classes or crystallographic groups. We call them as point groups. So these 32 point groups are further divided into or grouped into 7 crystal systems on the basis of axial ratio and angles. Now, external geometry of a crystal is depending upon the axial ratio and angles between the edges. So on the basis of the external geometry or shape of the unit cell, they are classified into 7 types which are known as crystal system or crystallographic systems. So what we can say, in general, what we can say here, the 7 type of primitive unit cells which have been divided on the basis of external geometry, they are giving us 7 crystal system. The 7 types of primitive cells, unit cells are leading to the 7 crystal systems. Now, these systems along with the various characteristics are shown here in this table, in which we are having these 7 crystal systems. In case of cubic system, we are having all the edge length equal, all the angles equal to 90 degree. In case of tetragonal, we are having A equal to B not equal to C and all the angles equal to 90 degree. In case of orthorhombic, all the edge lengths are different and all the angles are equal and equal to 90 degree. So various possible arrangements are there, various possible geometries are possible, various shapes are there on the basis of which we are having 7 crystal systems. Now, these 7 crystal systems which are based on the primitive unit cells external geometry or shape, this can be further having possible variations like body centered, face centered. So we will get different type of arrangement of particles in these 7 crystal systems, which we will further discuss in 14 Bravais lattices. Now, this shown in the figure that how these are different in shape. Their external geometries are different on the basis of the various edge lengths and the angles between the cell edges. So all 3D crystal will belong to one of the 7 possible crystal systems. We are having here 7 crystal systems. Any crystal, any 3D crystal will belong to one of the 7 possible crystal systems shown here. Now, Bravais lattices. In 1848, the Bravais studied the internal structure of crystals in details and he showed that the particles may be present not only at the corners of the unit cell but at the center of the faces or within the body of the unit cell. So on the basis of this, he suggests that these 7 crystal systems can further have variations and that will give rise to 14 different type of lattices which is known as Bravais lattices. These various variations here possible are because of arrangement of particles in the body as well as face centered in addition to the simple lattice type. So if we consider all the possibilities here, we are getting total 14 Bravais lattices corresponding to 7 crystal system. These all are shown here for corresponding to 7 crystal system. We are having 14 type of Bravais lattices, which all are shown here. Primitive, this is for 7 crystal classes and 14 Bravais lattices. P is for primitive, I is for body centered, F is for face centered, and C is for side centered here. So all 14 type of Bravais lattices can be shown here corresponding to the 7 crystal systems. Next one we will discuss in the next lecture.